The introduction of DeepSeek R1 model to wider community impressed almost everyone. Some people were negatively impressed because shares went down, and especially in the US, they realized that OpenAI might not be the only company that provides a versatile AI model, and others were positively impressed because they liked the content that they saw in DeepSeek R1. I am in the team of people who were positively impressed because I felt like when I asked ChatGPT to deliver an essay, for example, a scientific essay, it includes references to the essays that don't exist. So it bases an essay on references, on publications, on books that don't exist. You then, trying to check for correctness, go to Google Scholar, the university library, and try to check the publication name and the author. And it turns out that there is no such publication. And that author, even if the author exists, they never had put together this publication. This didn't happen to me with DeepSeek, because whenever it would put together an essay, it would always provide correct references, correct authors, meaning that if I'm reading something provided by DeepSeek, it's based on real evidence. It's based on a foundation I can trust to. In this video, we'll review the key differences and similarities of DeepSeek and ChatGPT, and what are the specificities that help DeepSeek to provide more accurate results compared to ChatGPT. We will start from similarities to lay down the foundation that these two AI models, DeepSeek R1 and ChatGPT. I'm not mentioning the specific model for ChatGPT. I think it's 4 point something, because you can use that model anyway, and after a certain amount of time you are paused and you need to wait 4 to 5 hours. So ChatGPT basically puts in front of you its latest model until you reach your free limit level. These two models are not fundamentally different. This is important to understand. They are both language models. What does it mean, a language model, on a surface level, if we're not going into too depth? It means that AI is able to understand us, to understand what we are typing, to understand the language we're speaking and we're communicating with. Because that's the main point of consciousness for us. With bots, there are many bots, right? Even in banks, in bank applications, in stocks and shares platforms, etc., etc. And what I feel with bots, I ask a question, it says, hello, I'm a digital assistant, ask me a question. And I go ahead, I ask a question like, how can I see full transaction history in my account? And it puts together all these links that don't show me where my transaction history is. They don't point me to a documentation that can show me where my transaction history is. So these digital assistants are very, very basic, and they're trained to respond to apparently questions more basic than the transaction history. So the main quality of these two models is that they understand the language we're speaking in. Whether it's very simple language and whether it's a complex language with some scientific jargon, they understand us. Using language models, they use prediction for each next word in the sentence. Meaning that whenever another person speaks to us, we in our head unknowingly have an expectation of the next word in their sentence. So whenever I want to say, I am eating an ice cream, the person is eating an ice cream, and in my head, when the person is speaking to me, I can expect that they're gonna say, I am because it's a grammatical way of showing that I'm doing this action now, eating an ice cream. We have lower probability in our head of me saying, I did swim an ice cream, right? I have higher probability for that person in front of me who eats an ice cream telling me that she is eating an ice cream. So the prediction works in a way that AI has a good prediction model for understanding what word is going to come next in a sequence of words that put together expressions and that put together sentences. Both use transformer architecture. We will have a separate video on transformer architecture, but transformer architecture is basically when the AI model pre-trained on a certain amount of data. It can be pre-trained on anything we can name, like human interaction, pre-trained on scientific articles, pre-trained on news articles, etc., etc. Pre-trained based on the information. They have a self-attention mechanism. So they are pre-trained, right? And they have self-attention mechanism. What is self-attention? Let's go back to this example. I am eating ice cream. And imagine I supply a couple of sentences like this, basic sentences, to AI. Self-attention is when AI assigns certain weights to words in a sentence based on their importance. I am eating ice cream. What weights would AI assign to these words? Up to 1. Let's do some guesswork here. So I am eating ice cream. I is important, but not too important, okay? It's important, but I would give it 20% or 0.2 probability, 0.2 weight. I am eating ice cream. Am is not important at all. It's a grammatical way of saying that I'm eating it now, but it's not that important at all. So I give it 10% weight. Eating. I am eating ice cream. So here I describe the action. What am I doing? I'm eating, right? So we give it 35% weight, and ice cream, another 35% weight. This all amounts to 100%. I am eating ice cream. The most important part of this sentence is that ice cream is being eaten. Someone is eating ice cream. And if we look at the words with lower weight, we can see that it's I am who is eating ice cream, right? So it keeps self-attention, because imagine a person keeps typing and typing and typing to the AI for a simple question, but they can type like 200 words that revolve around the same question. Here, AI needs to keep the self-attention by assigning the weight to the word to understand that, okay, this is what it's all about. It's similar to when you return to work after your holiday. You have all these emails coming at you, thousands and thousands, and you don't know what to do because you don't know whether you do your day's job or you should read through the emails you received. And in that case, we use sampling. We open emails from our manager first, then open emails from our colleagues second, and then we, at last, if we have time, we open emails to send to different generic distribution lists, right? So we keep a self-attention to the things, and we assign certain weights to the emails that we need to read through. So pre-trained data, so it already understands the language, it already understands the structure, the grammatical structure, because it was pre-trained. Then it used self-attention mechanism to understand what you mean. And then it used feed-forward layers in order to not to look for the same data twice. For example, feed-forward, it's nothing but a chain of thought that we humans also develop during our analysis. For example, I was eating ice cream. Today, my throat is sore. Okay, I was eating ice cream yesterday. Today, my throat is sore. Once AI assigned weights to the first sentence, I was eating ice cream, it then moved its pointer. So now we're at the situation when I was eating ice cream. AI knows this, okay? We feed forward it through, so that we don't return to the same point again where we need to learn again that we were eating ice cream. And then I can reason next. Okay, I'm here. I was eating ice cream. Now I have a sore throat. Then we move again, feed forward. I was eating ice cream. I have a sore throat. What can we deduce from this? Maybe cold ice cream caused sore throat. And that's the information that AI used to reason, because it forwards the information through the chain to be able to be knowledgeable about stuff. On a basic example, you can see it when we watch through the series. So when you start without watching Friends at all, while watching season 5, you won't understand many things. Like, okay, they are together. For you, Monica and Chandler being together would be a normal thing, right? Because you start from season 5. But if you start from season 1 and progress to this season 5, the information that you receive will be fed forward through the chain. And at season 5, you will already be informed, okay, Monica and Chandler, they were friends, they had different partners in the middle, they both had bad relationships, and now they're together. And it will be a totally different experience and totally different thoughts that you might have about serious progress. So you have feed-forward layers, transformer architecture, pre-trained, self-attention, and feed-forward layers. On a basic flow, the input goes to encoder, right? The information is analyzed, encoded, and then output is produced. The information is decoded after the AI has produced the information, then it did the reasoning, it produced the output, and then we get at the decoder level, we get the output as a last step. Now, when we more or less know with the similarities of ChatGPT and DeepSeek as AI models, let's look further into their differences. So ChatGPT always advertised itself, and still does, as a generally pre-trained transformer. So it's a general purpose AI, or it's called generic also. It's a general purpose AI. You can't give a photo of young person to ChatGPT and ask it to change this photo so that this person looks like an old person now, right? As he would look like in 50 years. ChatGPT is for generic questions. It's generally pre-trained transformer. That's how it was advertised, and that's what it delivers basically. DeepSeek is a lightweight platform. What does it mean to be lightweight? It has less computational resources. Less resources. It requires less resources. This one requires more resources. In a few minutes, we will discuss another main difference that contributes to being lightweight and to being computationally expensive. So DeepSeek accepts up to 1 billion parameters, and ChatGPT accepts up to 175 billion parameters. Hold that thought, we will get back to it shortly. So DeepSeek is task specific, and it works in real time. Meaning that if you have a generic question, if you want to think about life, about philosophy with an AI, your go-to AI would be ChatGPT. However, DeepSeek is more task specific. It's optimized for very, very special tasks. What does it mean? It means that when I ask it to put together a scientific article in certain topic, DeepSeek will do this job better because it's task specific AI, right? It works in real time, which makes it easier to use on mobile phones and IoT devices. It can be, there are different examples really, but it's more optimized for edge devices. Whereas ChatGPT is very well pre-trained for human interaction, for the interactions that human will like. Full name of this is reinforcement learning from human feedback, RLHF, right? What does it mean? It means that when you ask a question from ChatGPT, ChatGPT, can you please tell me about war between France and UK? And by the way, I'm British and I support UK. So ChatGPT will quickly learn from your preferences that you would like to see a version, not that there are different versions of the war, but each country presents history in a slightly different way, so that the country is presented in a better way, the country whose history is studied. So ChatGPT will provide you with list of heroes, of British generals, British admirals, British heroes that participated in the war. Whereas, because it will learn from your feedback, from the amount of information it has, what you might like. It's similar to sales specialists. So you are today in front of a sales specialist as a housemaker with kids, and sales specialists will talk about how hard it is to collect children from school, how hard it is to do school runs, how hard it is to look after children. It will try to be empathetic to your situation. And next day you go to the same sales assistant as a lawyer, as a male single lawyer, and sales assistant will be like, okay, I think this product would fit bachelors better. In bachelor's apartment it would look amazing for parties that you might hold. Similar to this example, ChatGPT tries to adjust its answers to what you might like, right? Because it learns from you what you might like and it returns it to you, so that you keep enjoying the conversations that you have with it. But what is the advantage in that? Because we can't say that ChatGPT only has disadvantages and DeepSeek R1 advantages. Advantage of that is that you get human-like responses. So if you want to chat with someone, you had a difficult day at work, you are stressed. It's a good thing to chat with ChatGPT. You will get human-like responses, you'll get human-like advices, how to reduce your stress. For example, you can go to have a shower, you can go to have a walk, right? So ChatGPT's responses are more human-like, whereas DeepSeek's responses are slightly robotic because they provide exactly the information, fine-tune the information that you ask them to provide. They fine-tune the information for use cases. So if something is not related to specific question you're asking, it will not include it. It will only provide what you're asking for, and it will deliver very well on the specific ask. And that's what it makes it a bit less operationally costly, because its self-attention is focused specifically on the thing that it needs to deliver, right? And ChatGPT is computationally costly AI. How is the flow works with DeepSeek R1? So in DeepSeek, we receive an input from the user. There is a pre-training similar to ChatGPT because they are general language models, language AI models. There is a pre-training, right? Then after pre-training, we do a fine-tuning. We make decisions based on whether certain informations answer the question of the user, of the main question in the thread. And we keep fine-tuning the information to make sure that it answers the question you asked. Okay? And it then generates the task-specific output. So it fine-tunes the information and generates the output you're specifically looking for. It's similar to when you call to British 999, the first clear questions they ask, police ambulance firefighters. And if you start, I think it's ambulance, someone is sick, or someone is throwing up, they're not interested in it. They're interested in exact responses, right? And that's what DeepSeek pays key attention to. Whether the response that it gives is fine-tuned for the question asked. That's why you get more specific output. With ChatGPT, you receive the input, right? Based on the pre-trained information, it processes your input, and then it fine-tunes you for the response that you might like, because it has reinforcement learning from human feedback. Whatever it has learned from you so far in your chat, in your chats, if you have an account with ChatGPT, it fine-tunes to something you might like. Like if you like wide responses, it will give you a wide response. If you don't like a wide response, it will give you a short response, but it will adjust to something you might like. DeepSeek will adjust it to something you asked, something you might need, right? So it's a slightly different approach. So if ChatGPT wants me to receive a nice scientific essay, it will provide me with an essay nicely worded, neatly organized, right? But references are not true. Oopsie. I didn't think that you might need specific references about an essay. So ChatGPT is not focused on specificity and accuracy of the response as much as it focused on something that you might like in its response. Now, speaking of parameters, what exactly parameters mean? DeepSeek can accept 1 billion parameters, and ChatGPT can accept 175 times more, 175 billion parameters. Without looking into the formula of how AI works, which we will look at in my next video, 1 billion of parameters means that I have only so much space for putting together an understanding of what you mean. That's why I will assign, in the self-attention mechanism, I will assign values to what you say in a way that it doesn't exist 1 million of parameters, no more than 1 billion different weights, Okay, so I can only deal with specific tasks. It's same with when someone starts talking and they start from the moment the earth was created, and then not 21st century, it's much more, thousands and thousands years later they come to the situations that they experienced yesterday, and you're like, oh my god, when this person will finish talking, when they will go to the main point. DeepSeek tells you, I have 1 billion parameters, I will only take the main point of what you mean and turn it into a specific task that I need to fulfill. This feature makes DeepSeek more optimized on mobile devices, because mobile devices, they have weaker processing units, given that it is a mobile device, it's a smartphone, but at the end of the day, it's not a laptop. It's not a MacBook Pro, let's say, or even better laptops with better spec. That's why it's optimized for edge devices. Whereas ChatGPT, as a general AI, generally pre-trained transformer, says, you know what, just tell me whatever you think, whatever you've got in your heart, whatever you've got on your mind, tell it, like, speak to me. It has 175 billion parameters, meaning that it has much more capacity to assign different weights to what you are saying and to assign different weights to information when producing a response. It's more computationally costly because it can work with up to 175 billion parameters. However, it makes a good case for cloud architecture, where something is going on in the cloud and something is operating in the cloud, not going on, sorry, and you need AI to do certain workloads. You need AI to put together something for you. ChatGPT would be your go-to AI model because it's optimized for environments where higher compute, more expensive compute is possible, where you have resources for heavier compute. When you're just accessing AI for specific tasks on your phone, it can be a bit heavy for your phone to handle it, whereas DeepSeek offers a lightweight version, a task-specific version of AI that is less computationally taxing. As you may see, ChatGPT and DeepSeek, they have different applications. However, if you're a type of person who goes to AI with specific questions, like myself, DeepSeek is my choice. DeepSeek R1 model is my choice in this case. However, if you like just to have a casual talk with ChatGPT or take screenshots, like ask it about jokes, etc., 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 general AI like ChatGPT is something you should opt for. So it's always dependent on the use case. I hope you liked my video. If you did, please, please, please help me to get liked by YouTube's algorithm. Like my video, subscribe to my channel, and leave what you think about this video in the comment section down below. What is your choice of AI? DeepSeek, ChatGPT? Maybe you like Gemini, maybe you like some another AI platform. I would be happy to hear about what you like, and maybe it will be featured in my next video. Thank you for being with me today. Have a nice day. Bye.